A rainbow brought a god to a distant land beyond the seas. The men of this country saw in him the creator of the dream time. Then, one day, he left the rainbow and disappeared. At the point where he had touched the ground, the rocks turned into colorful gemstones. The opal was created, and this land was called Australia. At Dior, I have the opportunity and the chance to create in an extremely free manner. I'm drawing a snake, which is not a bad snake that stings, it's a snake that's generous and kind. This snake must have a magic stone. For me, there was only one stone that would do, and it was the opal. It's an intriguing stone, it's what I find fascinating. And it has a reputation, there's something going on around it. It doesn't leave people indifferent. That's what's great about the opal. You can look at it for years and you'll always find something at some point that you've not seen before. After a long absence in the world of fine jewelry, the opal takes back its place it should never have left, thanks to the designer Victoire de Castellane. Indeed, this stone has been sought after for over 2,000 years. It was already very popular and considered to bring good luck in Rome in ancient Greece. It then came from present-day Hungary. I would like them to be turquoise and green opals, with blue in them, and in fact I think we'll have to go look for them in Australia. Australia is a continent country that is very sparsely populated, containing only 19 million people, concentrated in a few coastal cities, over an area almost equal to that of Europe. In January 1788, 11 ships of the British fleet landed a few hundred convicts and 4 marine companies in a secluded bay. The colony was established, and in this location, the future city of Sydney was founded. There followed a period of exploration and colonial expansion, punctuated by frequent conflicts between settlers and Aborigines. They were expelled from the territories they inhabited after thousands of years in full communion with the natural elements. By the mid-19th century, a considerable quantity of gold was discovered. A rush of prospectors and thousands of immigrants invaded the country. Rinsing the precious metal, some of them found a fascinating stone of many colors, opal. A new fever was going to invade Australia. A man, Tully Wollaston, caught the fever after being notified by a letter from the discovery of an opal mine in Queensland. He originated the idea of trading with this gem in 1888. He later became the founder of the opal industry in Australia. Many years passed before a group of gold diggers, on February 6, 1915, in the desert region north of Adelaide, made the discovery of the enormous opal deposit of Coober Pedy. Jim Hutchinson has taken his son Bill, aged 15, on this perilous expedition. Arriving at camp, thirsty, he left him and went in search of water. Upon returning, the teenager had disappeared. He had left alone in the desert. He returned a few hours later, to his father's great relief, hands and pockets full of opals. They were cracked and bleached in the sun, but it was indisputable evidence of a field of great importance. These opals were sold for a small fee to Wollaston. Word spread and a rush of prospectors poured into the region. $152,000 awarded to the man at right. The hammer resounds in the Sotheby's auction house. An opal of flashing bright lights has been sold. This gem has always fascinated the greats of this world. The Empress Josephine, wife of Napoleon, had an extraordinary opal called the Burning of Troy. The jewel vanished mysteriously. Mark Antony coveted a stone of unimaginable size for Cleopatra, the owner of which preferred exile rather than to surrender it. This gem is trading today at prices that defy imagination. In Australia, you dig, you drill, you try hard to find this fabulous treasure. Albert, a miner in Coober Pedy, originally from Eastern Europe, migrated to this region many years ago. He chose to exploit the opal with industrial equipment. He regularly buys mining concessions from the mining department of the Australian government to expand his prospection field.
Good afternoon.
How are you? Hello, what is it for you? I want to register a claim. XPP384. Number 384.
Does that look like you?
A license costs $46.75. That's theft. It's not surprising that we're broke. It's nothing. Here's the change.
And there's your change.
We'll prepare a new license for you. Come back this afternoon.
Later this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
Not a problem. Bye.
See you soon. Well, it's the most diverse.
It's a very diverse city. There was even an Eskimo who lived in Coober Pedy. All nationalities are here.
You think of, you can find
Hungarians, Germans, French, Italians. Most get along very well.
Everyone you can think of is here, and most of them get along pretty well. You know, it's quite surprising how well they get on. I'm Hungarian myself.
I'm Hungarian. I came after the revolution. I fled the revolution with my mother. My father was already here. He came to seek gold.
My father had already come out before. He went to Belgium as a coal miner. When we started mining...
When we began to mine in 1960, 1965, it was at Andamuka, a place not far from here. A lot of people go there on
So many
vacation.
people go to places like this for a holiday. You know,
At that time, with a pick and a lamp, my father found opals worth between 1 and 200 pounds.
with a pick and a carbide lamp. And he said, who wants a job in Melbourne?
He used to say, who wants to work in Melbourne when the money is so easy to
We
find?
stayed.
We stayed and we've not moved since.
We've been here more or less ever since. You got a crack running through there, and it'll be a slab. You might
A crack here. If it falls on a machine, it's not too bad. But if you're on foot, it's not good.
On the machine, you don't care, but sure, when you're walking around, it's not good. Fretting away the pillars.
The pillars were damaged.
Supporting it. And it's too big.
There's not enough to support it. It's too big.
And the whole lot just comes down and...
There are tunnels on both sides. Everything falls apart and you'll find only a pair of boots planted in the ground. We check the ceiling constantly. The dust that falls indicates that the earth is moving.
That's an indication that the ground's moving. And you get a line of dust.
We see a line of dust where the crack is formed.
Then you go...
At this moment, it's time for a lunch break.
Lunch break.
Danger is constantly present in these mines. For this reason, some miners, on top of prayers, make donations to the priests who intercede on their behalf with the gods. In this Orthodox church located in an old mine, the priest regularly receives opals. With these offerings, the place of worship is perfectly maintained. We've always attributed supernatural powers to this fascinating stone, and in 1075 the Bishop of Rennes wrote that opal rendered its owner invisible. It was then known as the Stone of Thieves. Albert has a special way of locating this gem in his mine. He uses a feature of the stone, fluorescence. When passing ultraviolet light in the dark on the walls, it immediately detects the presence of opal, which takes on a fluorescent violet color, highly visible from the rest of the environment. All that's left to do is to pick up the pieces. Opal occurs as a vein. It is rarely precious.
Seems like glass when it breaks.
Sounds like glass when it breaks. Sounds like a cash register. When it starts to thicken, it loses its color, but not always.
When it starts to get thick, it usually loses colour. Not always, but where it's thin.
Wherever it's thin, the color is beautiful. There are two lines here. One is here and the other over a few centimeters away.
One here and one above it, a couple of inches apart.
The quality of opal is judged according to several factors: the tone of the bottom of the stone and the distribution and the harmony of colors. You must observe it under natural light to appreciate its quality. The mix of color comes from its composition, which consists of microscopic layers of silicate molecules resembling rows of balls. The light penetrates the material and breaks down by returning rays off different colors. They're seen along the axis where you look at the opal. This phenomenon is called iridescence. Harlequin opal represents the most wanted array of colors. It forms a mosaic of color reminiscent of the well-known figure.
Under the black light.
Under the black light, you can't know if it's colored or not.
Colour or not.
This type of industrial search involves the use of huge drills and bulldozers. These machines can work quickly, digging long tunnels to reach the veins of opal. But this process is selective. Miners establish the presence of gems, and once they have crushed a part of the vein, the cuttings thus contain pieces of opal. They are collected and discharged outside while waiting to be sorted. In this region, populated in ancient times by the Aborigines, hundreds and hundreds of miners have removed every day, for a century, an incredible amount of earth from the subsoil.
My name is
Ian Crombie. I'm of Aboriginal descent. My tribe is from here and we live in Coober Pedy.
Aboriginal race. My tribe here is the Underkidney Yangundara tribe, and we live here in Coober Pedy.
Coober Pedy is an Aboriginal word which means white man in a hole.
Means white man in a hole. And the
white man comes here to dig holes in search of precious stones.
You see holes all around. They look for the precious stone. Our belief in
for us, opal is precious. It's protected by our people. It's part of our region and our culture,
by
our language.
People, our race. The opal is part of
There are legends that say that there used to be shells on the floor, but when the eagles came to lay their eggs, the shells hid themselves under the ground.
You see, the stories there is talked about in the mine where the shells were sitting
The white
out,
man digs in the ground and does not
Evil
restore the
comes
soil. The white man
and
destroys.
and the
We want
shells
the land
fade
to be
away.
good.
When the miner come, he dig up the earth and leave it all open. He never put the sand back. The white man is destroying the land. We care for the land, we look after the land. We want the land to be good.
The extracted earth is sorted by a sophisticated mechanization that eliminates dust and fine particles that are of no interest. The residue from sorting is carried on a belt into a closed room. Albert is the only one to have a key. He uses the same technique to detect the fluorescence in opals, then sucks them onto the belt. All that's left is for Albert to sort the batches of different qualities and then evaluate the price. The quality, and especially the colors, have a direct impact on the price of opal.
Small solids.
These are small, rough stones, beautiful, colorful.
Kicky. Yeah, that's nice.
This one's beautiful.
That's a shell.
It has a brilliance.
Fossil. Some people...
This is a fossilized shell. This one has good color.
That one's nice colour.
Oh.
You can't tell a person what
You
they're
can't
gonna
tell
like.
someone what they'll like.
Women are like magnets.
Women are
They
like
go into a jewelry
magnets.
shop,
They know
pick
how to
the
choose the most expensive opal in the shop.
in the
It's
shop.
insane.
Unbelievable.
Albert has to go into town to sell his production of rough stones. It's important to him because the money will allow him to operate his mine. Even if production is low or null, he must pay the fuel, repair to damaged equipment, and pay the men working for him.
How are you?
How are you?
Not bad today.
Not bad today.
You got plenty of
You have a lot of money? Sure, I have a lot of money. If you have beautiful opals, I have money.
I have plenty of money.
Best I've seen for a while.
I have not seen better for a while.
Let's see.
Let me see.
This is not the best you have, is it?
You have better than that, right?
This is okay,
No.
but
It's not bad,
when you
but
see
I
the
expected
best, I
better.
thought that I'm going to see something better. This is for others.
Better whet your appetite.
I gotta work up an appetite. This seems better.
Oh, this is good.
You haven't seen colour like this for
You haven't seen colors like this since when?
This is very nice.
No, it's true. It's very nice.
Okay, and how much would you like?
How much do you want for the lot?
80,000.
80,000.
80,000.
$80,000?
I've got a wife, girlfriend, 11 kids.
But I have a
mean, you know,
wife, girlfriend, kids.
Gambling habit, you know, drug
I'm addicted
habit,
to hard drugs and gambling.
Support everything.
I need to make everyone live.
You have priced it a bit more than usual. But I
You're
give you-
asking more than usual. I'll give you $50,000.
Yeah, Christmas.
Come on, it's Christmas. Think of my children.
My kids.
I can give you a Christmas.
I can offer you a
but
Christmas
not so
present,
many thousands
but not
of
that many
dollars.
thousands of dollars. A little more.
You have to tell me.
Give me your
a
price first.
60.
60,000.
You know how I do my pricing.
You know me, you know how I do my prices. I don't negotiate much.
65.
Okay, 65. What do you mean $65,000? 52,000 and a half.
Then
Here, I give you the money and I keep the
money
opal.
And I keep the opal.
53.
53,000, come on.
$500 Christmas present.
With 500 as a Christmas present?
Okay.
Yes, it should be a little something. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the colour I like.
That's the color I like.
Color you like.
Which do you prefer, this color or that one?
This color or
This one
color?
is better.
Why? This is better. Look at this. But
Seriously, I hope you'll find even more. I'm very happy about it. It's very pretty. It shines, it's wonderful.
Even in the plastic, and it's still sparkling.
And it's healthy.
My name is Yanni.
My name is Yanni Asanasiadis. I came from Greece 31 years ago to try my luck at Coober Pedy with these beautiful colored stones.
Colorful stones in Coober Pedy for 1 year. And 31 years later.
31 years later, I'm still here.
10% of
10% of the opal found in Coober Pedy has color. 90% is what's called potch, that is to say, colorless opal.
opal with no color.
Miners don't even pick it up. It's a waste, it's worthless. So 10% has the true color.
Rubbish, nothing. 10% of opal that we find, it's color. 10% of
So
that
10%
opal,
of it is the best.
of the 10%.
And
it's
1%
the
of that
best.
10% is the
And
black
1%,
opal.
It's black opal. So black opal
The
is
black
very
opal is very
rare. I
rare.
have seen quite a lot of.
I've seen quite a few stones and opals that I
and
really
have
like.
some
I don't
of,
sell them.
The opal that I like, I never sell, Patrick. But one of
my best stones is on the table. This one is the most beautiful. For 31 years, I've never seen better.
This stone here, it's one of the best stones that I have ever seen. And I have been in the industry, as I said to you earlier, 31 years. I haven't seen better than that. That was a big boulder.
It was a big stone, almost half a meter in diameter. From the outside, we saw nothing. I speculated in the buying.
And I also
Then I
bought,
saw this line.
That stone just because of speculation, and all of a sudden I saw this line. The opal here contains water. I put that
Understand,
piece of
opal
in
contains
the
water.
freezer.
I put my find in the
24
freezer for
hours.
24 hours. I was hoping that the frozen water would make it fragile, and that's what happened. I was really lucky. I inserted a screwdriver, I pushed, and voila.
And also very lucky in this case here. I put a screwdriver and I force it and open it, and voila.
Opal is sometimes found in the form of fossils. Because 110 million years ago, Australia was connected to Antarctica. A shallow inland sea divided it in two. Abundant wildlife populated it, but it was a form of life very different from what exists today. It was the age of dinosaurs. In the Eromanga Sea lived strange creatures, reptiles, marine dinosaurs, and many other fish that have disappeared today. When one of them died, he fell to the bottom. His flesh disintegrated, leaving only the bone, which was then gradually covered with sediment. Some scientists believe that 65 million years ago, an enormous meteor collided with Earth, ending the age of dinosaurs and removing the majority of the existing species. About 35 million years later, drastic climate change would have created a regression of the Eromanga Sea. The layers of sediment that were deposited cracked in depth, allowing the infiltration of silica-rich liquid from the ancient ocean and transforming the fossils into opals by a surprising process.
What we do know about this process is
What we know about the process that produces opal is that bacteria appears to have been involved. Bacteria have transformed the fossil animal bones into small balls of silica, while turning into opals themselves.
So that when we look at opal,
When viewed under the microscope, we see bodies of bacteria responsible for this magic. What they have left are the rocks filled with opalized bones, which were originally the bones of dinosaurs, platypus, or animal teeth, are now extraordinary, beautiful opals.
Kinds of dinosaurs, kinds of pliosaurs in the waters, that were seen nowhere else.
There were dinosaurs and
One of the most
pliosaurs who
famous
lived
that
in
we
water,
have here
animals
is
that could
an
not be
animal
seen
affectionately
elsewhere.
known as Eric.
One of the most
Eric
famous
was
is an
a
animal
small
called Eric.
pliosaur.
This was a small pliosaur, a marine reptile, a cousin of the dinosaurs that ate fish.
And Eric,
Like many of the animals from which Eric lived, the lungfish, turtles, crocodiles, and the ancestors of the platypus, it died in the water.
died, and when they died,
Then the
often
flesh
settled in
decayed,
water.
leaving
When
only
it
the
happened,
bones,
the flesh
and a
rotted
mysterious
away from their
phenomenon
bones,
occurred.
And then something mysterious.
We are only beginning to
began.
understand the
We are
process,
only just beginning
but
to
in the
understand
end,
what this
they were all
process
turned
was.
into opal.
But ultimately,
The
it
bones of these
produced
prehistoric
opal,
creatures
and
became
it
precious
transformed
stones.
the bones of these prehistoric creatures into gems.
In a desert that stretches out of sight, the kingdom of insects, reptiles, and some mammals adapted to this environment, the temperature often reaches 50 degrees centigrade. These conditions do not stop adventurers in search of opals from digging the earth like termites. Don't worry, if in this hostile environment you see a man walking alone, eyes closed, and 2 metal rods in his hands, he is neither lost nor crazy. He is only determining, by dowsing, where to burrow. All techniques are good to find this precious mineral.
To find opal, we use these, doesn't have to
To
be
find
any
opal,
special metal, just,
You can use any metal.
any sort of thing
It just needs to indicate movement.
And,
This
what they
method
do
does
is they
not
don't
find the opal
find
itself,
they find
but
rocks
can
in the
find
ground
places in the earth
that
where there may
cause
be.
the opal to occur.
I found opals using this many
Well, found
times.
opal using
It was
these
very
has been
accurate,
very
but
accurate,
unfortunately, many times
many
I did not
places
find
that
any
there is
opals.
opal, but nothing is there. Okay, this is
We
where
will
dig.
drill here. "850 kilometers north of Adelaide, on an endless road, the town of Coober Pedy is placed like a mirage in a city out of a western at the time of the gold rush. World traveler, here you enter the world of the opal. You can make a fortune, but what price are you willing to pay? For several decades, this region has attracted adventurers from all over the world. They are grouped in this region to escape their past.
That's
Hi, is that rough opal?
Yep, it's rough opal.
Yes, it's rough opal from Coober Pedy. In this region?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you know?
You know a miner named George?
George?
Oh yes.
Sure,
it's,
a Greek.
Greek man.
He worked on the Olympic field, just past the airport.
That's where he's working, past the airport.
Of the days when waves of emigrants invaded the Australian desert, there are only a few men left who survive on small-scale mining. George is one of them.
When I need something,
When I need something,
always
I go,
do this here. Hello?
hello? Yes? How much?
Or for this one or that one. Connection, telephone.
Very good.
Greek
It's a Greek telephone. Every day he goes down 30 meters deep to the bottom of the mine. The hole communicates with perpendicular galleries that were dug into the rock by a machine. He rents whenever necessary, but especially when his findings allow him to pay for it.
I come from Greece, you know that. Salonika.
I'm from Salonika in Greece.
I came
I arrived in April 1966. I was 23 years old.
I was was 23 years old.
I was a sculptor and I did my military service.
I went in the army, and when I finished from the army...
On leaving the army, I walked past a building where there were lots of people. And I asked my friend, what are they doing?
What are these people doing here?
They were asked the question. They said they were leaving for Australia. And I told my friend, want to go to Australia? And he said yes. 3 months later, we were in Australia.
This one here is a gypsum.
This is gypsum crystal. It's not opal. But often, under the gypsum, there is opal.
Under here, sometimes, form a big pieces of opal under the gypsum.
That's a large vein of gypsum that goes down.
Line coming down all the way.
Below, or sometimes above, there's a good material.
The gypsum carries material. But after, we are going to blast here.
So we dynamite, because we believe that there's color there.
Here was some color.
To find opals, George is not a believer in scientific research. He's not studied geology. He trusts his instincts and experience as an old searcher. Often, miners abandon their wells that they think are sterile. Other searchers come and dig in a different direction, and they discover a fortune.
Bombs.
George feels the opal when it is close.
We go down.
Only one way to find it: dynamite. To ensure that the explosive charge is well prepared, it's his wife, Judy, who manufactures it in a very artisanal way. We roll a few sheets of paper together, turning them. This is the cordex. There's a knot in the cordex so that nothing falls out.
So what we're going to do, we're going to fill it
What
up.
we'll do is we'll fill it.
Supposed to spill it, but it's
Can't
not the
spill
right-
any.
Put it in there.
All right.
Then we're just going to tuck it down.
Then fold it like that, and I put a piece of tape.
A tag, which I
You have
don't
it
happen to have on me.
We call it German sausage, Frankfurt sausage, ready.
We have here a Frankfurter sausage. If you don't like someone, you put a detonator on it, and bang.
This is your fuse.
Here's the fuse.
Detonator.
There's a detonator at the tip, and when George descends, he connects them.
He'll connect them
When he's ready, we put them in the wall.
them in the wall.
35 years we do that.
It's been 35 years that we've been doing this. It's not dangerous. It's like breakfast every morning.
Why you drill here?
Why do you work in this area?
Yeah, because
Because when we open, we'll find color.
some color, and all the
Here
white
is gypsum,
This is a gypsum.
and under gypsum there is opal.
Produce a bit of opal.
Now I'm going to dig
Now
and blast
I'm
the
going to
gypsum
drill
to find the
and
opal.
blasting under the gypsum, and we found some opal. Okay.
And that's an indication.
That's an indication for you?
Yes, it is.
Yes, that's it.
Patrick, can you hold me?
Patrick, can you hold this?
It's very strong. I know many places
that I believe have opal, but I go slowly, because I check a lot of wells. I have a winch on my truck and I look. People have abandoned some areas. Not mines, but only empty wells. When they leave, I go down and look. And if I find something interesting, I start working.
If I found something interesting, I start a mine. Now we put together. Very dangerous position. You don't have.
Assembled, it's dangerous. It's best not to smoke.
We go to put it in now.
Then it's introduced. It looks good.
Okay. Sometimes I found a lot of opal, but
Sometimes
no
I
big
find a
money.
lot of opal, but it's not
Because,
worth
the
much
opal
because
is
it's not
not
of great quality.
quality, but it's plenty. Like $1, $2 per ounce.
I
But
guess there's always
sometimes,
something good,
if that
worthwhile.
material will be
There's money in
1,000
sight.
per ounce, you can imagine.
There must be for me to be able to continue.
Let's see what we done.
This time, who knows? We might find good opal.
Some opal. Look here.
Look,
Nice, eh? Beautiful.
nice, very nice.
Maybe a few hundred.
Maybe a few $100s. Very beautiful stone.
Very nice piece.
Miners have the habit of licking their newly found gems. Saliva moistens the stone, and the lights stand out and give an impression of polish. This technique allows one quickly see the quality of the opal.
But I'm going to check.
You see
Maybe
here,
sometimes
there are mud cells, as they're
we can
called.
found something.
I check. Sometimes you find something.
Here is one.
Well, here it is.
Here is
You
one.
see?
Can you see? See that one there?
See it?
Yeah, that's one there.
I must be careful taking it
I
out.
must be careful to take it out. Yes. Yeah. She said.
A fossil.
For you, Judy.
For you, Judy, to make a pendant.
Not this one. the
Pretty,
same.
huh?
Nice, eh? I like the bar.
I love the bar.
See the nice
You see the
there?
bar there?
Beautiful.
It's superb.
Lovely. Maybe million tomorrow. Yeah,
Maybe tomorrow, 1
I
million.
got temperature generator.
I love this job. And I'll continue until my death.
Till I die.
It's not uncommon on the streets of Coober Pedy for some people try to fool foreign visitors. They're very persuasive. They sell doubles, which are formed by a layer of genuine opal bonded with a layer of synthetic or natural color enhancing. They're sold at the price of opal if well done. A double can give the illusion of opal if one is not a specialist. There are also triples, in which case the assembly is formed of 3 layers.
Je comprends. Ça est cristal, cristal. Très bien, cristal.
It's possible to buy the doubles and triples in jewelry stores. The sale is allowed if the buyer is made aware of what they are, and the price must be lower than that of genuine opal.
Fumbling, just hold your hair up, lean forward, and breathe. You're breathing. There you go. Let me get a little straight.
It's safer for the novice to go into a specialty store. The opal sellers are familiar with this stone and give advice. It's important, for example, to keep it away from heat sources, because it contains 3 to 30% water, and dehydration can cause cracks and reduce its iridescence. Heat due to crimping can also be dehydrated, so it's better to buy a stone that's already mounted. My name is Sandy Williams. I'm a miner part-time and also a guide. I work for an opal mine. Here you're with us in our home underground. We're about 20 meters underground. The house has been a mine since 1917. There have only been 2 owners. The previous owner was named Freddie Sauerkraut. He lived as if he was still in a mine. No electricity, no running water. We've modernized it, made it more comfortable to live.
10 years down Sydney and up here out expensive state. I reckon
My name is Damien Cody.
My name is Damien Cody. I own a company that exports opals worldwide. We're going to the source to find some of the best stones.
With our business, we have to go to the source to find the stones. We have rough opal, but in many cases, the opal is cut by the miner himself. The opal predominantly,
the most high-quality opals come from here, from Lightning Ridge.
Where we are right now.
Here we find black opals.
Produces the black opal. Queensland.
There are bolder opals in Queensland, and most of the clear opal comes from Coober Pedy.
So we go to all of those.
So we go buy it everywhere, and many miners come directly to us for sale.
In many cases, a lot of the miners also come to us. We sell our
opal around the world. In Europe, the German-speaking countries are our biggest buyers. Switzerland, Germany, Austria. In Paris, it works well in the big fashion houses. We've also participated in many exhibitions. France has begun to be very interesting for us.
And we've done a number of trade exhibitions in France. And so France is another country that's becoming more and more important for us.
Well, we haven't seen a lot for a while, so it'd be good to see some nice stones.
I haven't seen some pieces in a while. Be nice to see something good. I have some nice pieces here. It's warm enough, I think. 45 degrees last week. We started working at 6 a.m. and finished at 1 p.m. It's good to see you found the knobby. There are many veins here. Yes, I have a team working for me at Wyoming. We have a few knobby and a little vein.
So what do you want for that stone?
You want how much for that?
5 grand.
5 grand?
Yeah.
What's it weigh? 9 carats.
Weighs how much? 9 carats? Yeah.
More like about 4.5.
I'd rather do 4,500.
Do 47.
Can you go for $4,700? Cut it in half?
Yeah. Okay.
I've got some
we'll talk later.
clients in Paris.
I have clients in Paris and fine jewellery, and what interests them most is the blue-green.
Interested in nice blue-green material.
Yeah.
Even nice crystal.
Even the pretty crystal.
Oh, okay.
You have some right now?
A little bit, not a lot.
A little, not much. There are a lot of blue-green, but not a lot of crystal. If I find it, I'll put it aside for you.
If I get some, I'll stick it aside for you then.
Anthony is a miner at Lightning Ridge, and when he finds beautiful stones, he has them cut by a lapidary.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Anthony. Come in.
How you going?
How are you? Okay, what are you bringing me today? Look at this. Nice.
Wow.
Look at that one.
It's a nice colour there.
Pretty colour. We'll clean it.
Well,
Quickly, let's see what it's worth.
We'll just rub this piece down and we'll see what face is like. We just have a quick look. We'll just turn this on.
A carved stone can, in general, bring a larger profit, but this is always a danger. For example, once carved, the stone might be much less interesting than expected. It can also break.
Come back tomorrow.
There's a defect in the middle, but if you can come back tomorrow, your pieces will be ready in the afternoon.
Hopefully some good ones.
Okay, let's hope there'll be some good ones. See you tomorrow.
See you later.
Bye. My name is Christine Russell.
My name is Christine Russell. I love opal. I live and breathe it. I work on the raw opal that the miners bring me. We all hope to find sellable gems. It's money for them, after all.
Work on the rough, and hopefully they're all hoping to find a gemstone they can sell. It's all money, and they work very hard for their money, and I have to try very hard to cut something.
The miners work a lot, and I have to work hard to get something nice for the market. It's wonderful for them when they
all
find
good
it.
for them if they find some.
For centuries, the opal was considered the stone that was lucky. Shakespeare said it was the miracle and queen of stones. In the 19th century, a superstition darkened its image. Its origin is largely due to Walter Scott's novel, Anne of Gerstein, where the heroine that wore an opal experienced various misadventures. Misinterpretation of the novel was amplified by some diamond sellers of the time, worried about the success of this other stone.
What I like about opal mostly is it's like...
What I like most about opals is it's like a Pandora's box. They slowly reveal more and more colors, but sometimes more and more problems, which can be disastrous. Opal is a product of nature and we must work with her. Lapidaries also participated in this curse. Indeed, very fragile, this stone must be cut very carefully to reveal its beauty. Broken, the client refused to pay for the work of the artisan. This punishment was less than that inflicted by King Louis XI on his lapidary, who had both hands cut off for having broken the beautiful opal he'd been entrusted with. Cutters that had been injured spread the rumor that the stone was unlucky and should be avoided. At the time, the rumor made its way and sales of opals collapsed by 50%.
42.2.
42.2.
42.
It's really pretty.
Pretty good.
Yes. Damien has precise orders. Informed by his contacts there's an exceptional stone corresponding to his search, he goes directly to the mine.
There you go, mate. How you going, Danny? Good. Tell me you're finding a bit.
I heard you found some?
Good to hear, good to hear.
I got one.
Yes, a little. Good, good. I have one here.
Have a look at that.
A nice piece of knobby, wonderful.
Wow.
What do you think?
Looking good.
Not bad at all.
It's for sale.
It's for sale.
Everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale. Everything's for sale. Even your grandmother.
I'll give it to you for 20,000.
I'll give it to you for $20,000.
20,000.
How much does it weigh? 42 carats.
Carrots.
Yep.
16,000?
16.
You're tough.
You tough?
You know me,
You
mate.
know me, I don't change.
Always the same.
How about
That's a
17?
17.
17.
You drive a hard bargain, mate.
You drive a hard bargain. Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
It's concluded?
It's a deal.
$17,000. Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Having collected the necessary piece, Damien returns to his Sydney office. His precious bounty is immediately stored in a safe, waiting to be sold or exported.
Got some fabulous material.
I have some fabulous blue, green, black opals that would be perfect for your jeweler customer. You can have it in Paris in a week.
Within 7 days. You'll love
You'll
it.
adore it. It's
Fantastic.
beautiful.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
In the great tradition of its masters, the jeweler has artfully crafted the metal, set the stones with precision to give this work more strength and beauty. As if by alchemy, the jewel has taken shape to give birth to this magical serpent. In the land of dreams was the incarnation of a god who, when he disappeared, left to man the only thing he would never be able to create: the opal.